more I find out about how we used to do our hair those days compared to how we do it now, I think that the ancestors were those buddies we need to be. Today I'm going to get into the rest of East Africa. I recently talked about my country, Uganda, and now I'm going to talk about Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, Ethiopia. What was hair like? What did it symbolize? Was there any shaving? And if there was shaving, what did it symbolize? Yeah, let's get into it. So Kenya and Tanzania, they used to do what we call the Morani hairstyles. So young warriors would grow their hair long after they have been circumcised, and growing their hair long was a symbol of youthful energy. And then they would braid their hair into thin elongated locks. Locks are not new, but then they would also dye them with red ochre and animal fat, and that red color symbolized blood, life, and bravery as we know it. And so that's the symbolic meaning of the Morani hairstyle. And then when they would be done being warriors and they were crossing over into being the elders of the society, they would shave their hair. So that's the symbolism with the Morani hairstyles for Kenya and Tanzania. So what about Ethiopia? Ethiopia had similar hairstyles as Kenya and Tanzania. That's the Morani hairstyle, but for them it was a short bob-like clump with larger clumps of hair, like shorter, thicker clumps of hair, which gave like a matte finish. And the other difference is that for them it symbolized femininity, fertility, and beauty. It was worn by adult women who are either ready for marriage or actually married. And the interesting thing I found about it is that for them, they would not decorate their hair. Why? Because the hair decorations were not, like ornaments were not necessary, because they considered that the hair was the ornament. So interesting. And the other difference is that instead of animal fat, they either used to use red clay, or they would use red ochre mixed with ghee. So what about Rwanda? We know them to be one of the most beautiful people in East Africa. So what was their hair like? They had the ibisage, which were fine braids by the women, and these braids would be held into bands, most likely at the top, and then they would put ornaments like beads and cowrie shells. And then the men had the amasunzu. The amasunzu was a hairstyle that would shave the sides, and then they would have the middle grow longer, and that middle part they would shape it in a way that symbolizes either manhood, courage, social status, like different shapes or readiness for marriage. So you just meet a man like, no one's ready for marriage, let's talk to him. Yeah. Then finally for the Burundi, their women used to do fine braids still and twists. But the difference is that they would hold their hair down back. So if they were to do a band, they would do it downward. Then they would also still adorn their hair with beads. And then lastly, the men of the Burundi used to have short natural hair, and they would pick on some elements from the Rwandese with amasunzu, but for them they really kept it simple. They also designed their hair with feathers or ash or ochre, really just for some ceremonies. But yeah, when you really look at it, these guys had that thing in the bag. Like they knew what to do. Like, yeah, we got this. No one's gonna tell us anything. Yeah, I find that so interesting. I hope we take that power back, because I vibe with this.